Hello, good evening. This is a story of our village and our communities here in Goa. We have always lived in a haven of abundance. Food seasonal for our bodies and our environment, raw materials for our homes and our clothes, herbs and waters from the sacred groves to heal us. This knowledge does not live in books or in machines. It just rests within our bodies, our land, and our rhythms. Along our rivers and coasts, our people built the khazans and grew salt resistant rice. Sensing our world through the taste of water, we shaped bunds and canals with mud and mangroves to separate the river from the sweetwater ponds. We chose the wood to build the sluice gates. On its embankments, we grew vegetables and inland coconut trees. This is a practice of sustainable biodiversity, renewing food and nutrition ecosystems and keeping our land resilient. This knowledge of soil, water, architecture is with our elders. And they share this through stories, rituals, and practices, in songs as we gather wood, in dances and weaves of cloth and basket, in knowing which fish to take in which season, which crops to plant in which soil, when to harvest, when to dry, and when to pickle. Once this knowledge flowed from our elders to our children through lived experience, our greatest inheritance from community. The question before us today is how we take this forward, not just as fragments of memory, but as stories that strengthen us as communities. That is why we began Goa Water Stories. This is a sharing of our intimate relationship from land and water. Here, we work with young adults from our villages. They are architects, environmentalists, painters, writers, poets, artists. They work through a process of collaboration where each choose to bring to the table what they decide to share, rooted in Goa and in partnership with community. To this, we increase the learning by inviting specialists from academia, filmmakers, herpetologists, even meditation guides, to increase the learning and the knowledge peer to peer and peer to community. We document this knowledge in various forms: leaves, plants, flowers, recipes, photos and videos, recording of audios of interviews, bird songs, waters, illustrations of plants, rivers, and maps. We attempt to understand our environment through all our senses, and we augment this knowledge with academic research and peer review. This large bundle of knowledge, we then return it back to community as an immersive, interactive, multilingual archive, Goa Water Stories. This work and practice of ours in Goa is easily replicable in every city, town, or village. Every space has its memory with water and its connection with community and soil. Our work is in the Creative Commons as an open access archive, available to anyone who chooses to engage, learn, and work to take this process forward. This archive allows us to decide and define our future. Goa Water Stories currently consists of 18 chapters which engage with different aspects of Goa's water and environment. In Agarwado, Bhushna works and documents the traditional salt making practices. She visits the community, interviews them, understands the tools, and how this works together to create a harmony in ecology. On the Khandepar River, artists, researchers, and the village community document the plants that grow on its river bank and its traditional uses. They then work with students from the village library and build small zines. This records this knowledge, remembers it, and passes it forward to the next generation. In Aldona, another project reconnects children to the river through its stories. Minelli, who leads this project, believes that if we inculcate this learning between young community members and our environment, we create future guardians of our ecology. In Morjim, Amisha studies the irreversible impact, social, cultural, as well as ecological, of tourism upon her village. And she traces this back to the construction of a bridge. Upriver, the Shapora, Nisha studies the impact of big development on its river and how this accelerates soil erosion in Ibrahimpur, her village, and on its other banks, the village Sal. In the Mahadai Sanctuary, Sandhya speaks from her community's lived experience as traditional guardians and protectors of the forest as they today negotiate the modern construction of a wildlife sanctuary. On the estuary of Mandovi between Panjim and Nerul, Manisha and the students of Goa College of Architecture study the construction of development in the riparian zones. This is the delicate space between land and water. This is not just a mapping of settlements or construction, but an understanding of how we shape our rivers and this delicate space between land, water, and where community lives. Goa Water Stories is this living memory, our heritage made visible. This community knowledge helps us understand how societies evolve and how we take knowledge from our past into our future. It is this knowledge that is extremely critical today as we engage with the impacts of changing climatic conditions. It is not just what we remember or how we take this forward. It is not just what is lost, but it is important of what survives. Because it is this knowledge that becomes our compass. How we engage with crisis, how we nurture our environment, and how we strengthen our community. Resilience is not built in a laboratory or through legislation only. It exists in our stories, in our community knowledge, in the wisdom of our elders. And it is time today that we heed this wisdom before it fades away. It is our traditional community knowledge that teaches us how to live in balance with our ecology as we carry forward seeds of sustainability. Goa Water Stories is this powerful remembrance that our traditional knowledge is a powerful tool that can shape an inclusive and sustainable tomorrow. Thank you.